how do you feel about the so-called gay lifestyle being labelled a fashion trend?
Well, I think this is more like, I don't think any like guys do it for fashion trends.
Jesus, you'd be surprised.
Really? No, I don't think they do it for fashion trends. They do it for clothes-wise.
Fashion trend.
That's a fashion trend.
But they don't play gay for fashion.
They what?
Don't play gay.
They don't play gay for fashion. There's girls that play gay for fashion.
No, but I think that's the whole metrosexual thing is in, like, you know, you see guys that normally you'd be like, okay, and they're married and definitely straight, but they're like quite effeminate in terms of how they dress, or they're quite provocative. What would have been provocative anyway? No?
Is it in terms of their upkeep?
I'm talking about.
No, but it is the upkeep though. It's because like as soon as a straight guy I'll say washes, but like as soon as he like polishes himself up, people then think that he's gay. That doesn't mean that. Like, but there's definitely girls that play gay for fashion, and that they because they think it's cool to be a lesbian or bisexual. So then they do it, and I'm dabbling in the lady pool, and
I think for women, sexuality is a lot more fluid. I think that it's easier for them to, like, you know, two women to like have a snog in like being drunk and in a bar kind of thing than it is.
Never catch two men doing that.
Yeah, so I think
the white guys catch them doing that.
I don't know if it's about playing. I think it's more about them being able to express sexuality a little bit more than men.
Why is that though? Why is it? But is that because some heterosexual women are still thinking that it's serving their men? Maybe. And this whole fetishizing lesbian activity is, you know, it's something that they will enjoy. I think and the girls, you know, that do it, I'm not saying they don't enjoy it, but where does it stem from? Where does the permission stem from?
Where does it stop?
Yeah, I think part of it is that. I think part of it is, you know, that whole I'm doing it for you know, male attention, that male gaze, and to kind of arouse, and that's why a lot of men still think that anything lesbian or anything featuring two women is about them. They have to be involved. Yeah. It's for their, you know, enjoyment and that kind of stuff. So,
do you think the girls that play gay are the ones to blame for that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but are they playing gay, or are they going for a different stage of their life?
Well, it depends.
Are they playing gay though?
No, there are some that are just playing gay. Yeah, they know they don't actually want to do anything with a woman, really. They know it.
Yeah.
They know it.
They kiss their friend's face off because, you know, their men are watching and like.
But that's what it is though. Like it's a cute little story to go back to your heterosexual partner and be like, oh, but I'm not a prude because I had a little kiss with my girl. You know? It's like, alright, cool, but it doesn't actually mean anything. They weren't vibing off the chick like that. They just. It was a drunken moment. It was fun. Do you know what I mean? They told me a little anecdote.
But then that's them expressing their fluidity. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean you don't need permission. No one's saying that, you know, if you're doing it for whatever reasons it's right or wrong. But sometimes it doesn't serve us in the best way.
It doesn't.
Because they're gone.
No, I mean if you're doing it, like there can be right and wrong reasons, because the effect it's going to have on someone else, if you're not serious about what you're talking about and what you're doing, the effects on the people that you're dealing with could be quite dramatic and disastrous. So there is a right and wrong element to it, but I guess there is a stage where there are some young females who, at a stage where it was cool to dress like a boy and do that whole kind of course, you know, it was cool to kind of dress like that. But not all girls that dress like that are studs. They're not living that lifestyle. And I think that's just everybody else having to say that because you dress like that, you must be on that flex or living that lifestyle, when that might not be the case.
I'm sorry, what's the stud lifestyle?
Yeah, I hate that word lifestyle. Like, is that what's on the card, by the way? Is the word lifestyle on that card? Yeah. So-called gay lifestyle being labelled as a fashion trend. I hate the term.
What do they think our lifestyle is?
I've heard people say, oh, I'm so fed up with men, I'm just going to go out with women. I've heard people say that.
Yeah,
I've heard people say that. So is that what we're talking about when you say about living the gay lifestyle?
I think that's what we mean with regards to trend. Do you know what I mean? Like, because to make a decision like that is to decide to follow something, and that's what trend is. But to say lifestyle, I'm like...
But what do you guys think they mean by lifestyle when they say lifestyle?
Is this people embodying the stereotypes that are assigned to gay people? Is it people actually...
Or is it just because you're sleeping with the same sex?
The gay, okay.
What is the lifestyle that they're talking about? Because
I think it's everything to do with being gay. Actually, I think that it's like, I think they think that we're living some kind of lifestyle. So we go to gay weddings and we go to gay lunches, and there's something that doesn't involve straight people.
Yeah.
So
that's why when you go to a gay club now, you have to check whether they're actually gay sometimes.
See,
they're like...
I thought it more like
tourists.
dressing in those stereotypical views, like maybe men being more flamboyant and more colourful and stuff. Maybe that's the way I kind of took that lifestyle angling towards.
See, that's just down to clothes though, do you see what I mean? So when I heard lifestyle, I was thinking more along the lines of like, I don't know, promiscuity and clubbing all the time and taking drugs, and we don't value family and that kind of thing. That's how I see it when people are like, the gay lifestyle. Because other than like getting up and brushing your teeth in the morning, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Somebody said to me, why do gay people, so many gay people have like piercings and tattoos? And I was just like, well, it's just another way for us to express ourselves, but I don't think it's any different to straight people.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any.
You don't have any. Like, it's that kind of thing. Is that the gay lifestyle? Like, I think that some people think that's what it is. Like, we're able to express ourselves more, so it's a lifestyle.
But it's also we grow up being told that something is what we should be and what we should expect, and we know from day one that it's not. That's not. So again, we've taken the pill. Like we see the world properly because we grow up going, this isn't right, even though we can't put words to it, and we don't feel like we're allowed to put words to it. We are already aware from such a young age that what's being told to us and what's being told is correct is not, because we feel it that way. So I think we're more advanced in that in terms of expression. Of course, it can go the other way. You can suppress a lot of stuff, but we're already outside.
I guess it's because at a younger age you're forced to really start to understand yourself, and look at yourself exclusively from the world and try and fit in and really analyze the world, because you need to think, what is the world, what is the thing that I need to fit into.
Tattooing and piercing. Well, tattooing is associated with prison culture and in the Western world anyway, and so we don't have a need to bow down to the pressure of what people are going to think, because we've already surmounted something that we are is something that we had to go, well, you don't like it, so fucking tattoo's not going to
Is that the gay lifestyle?
Gay lifestyle, tattoos, piercings, those things came back from generations, like from before. So anybody that wants to come on that level, they can go do one, mate. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like totally hear what you're saying. It's foolishness.
There is no gay lifestyle.
I don't think there is a lifestyle, but I'm trying to think from that perspective. Like, what is it that because you talk about representation on TV, seeing more gay couples, gay storylines on TV, or whatever, trans storylines. That's what we're talking about. But then there's always friction. There's always a problem with that level of representation. That it's you're gonna change someone. You're going to change one of my kids if they watch your show or something like that. So they're going to be adopted into this lifestyle. My parents have called it a lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is as a lifestyle.
It confuses me. It throws me off.
What is it? What is it that I'm living that makes it a lifestyle? The impression I get is something that can be adopted. So like, if I kiss a woman tomorrow, then all of a sudden I'm going to start wearing rainbow shit, or like someone is going to be a level of flamboyancy, like I'm just going to come out. I don't know.
But this is the thing. It's like it's very hard for people to see outside their own clique and their own collective. What's the word? I don't know. Homogenization, I suppose. But like, I think because they, heterosexual ideals and everything is what's sold as what is what is,
Yeah.
So they don't see that they basically dress the same, act the same, expect the same things out of life, and so when they see it in other groups, they're like, oh yeah, you're being changed and you're being turned into something, and they see you sort of departing
because it doesn't involve
the
them.
norm.
It doesn't involve them.
No, yeah.
So that's why it's an other.
Yeah,
it's something else that's different.
But you can see in other tribes what makes them tribes, but you can't necessarily see it in yourself when it's considered the blanket norm.
The norm, yeah.
And always has been to an extent, you know. So I think that has a sort of a sway, you know. Has it changes it makes that them think that that's what happens. You suddenly become gay or bisexual or trans, or you identify as a particular sort of person.
But in all honesty, they do. Walk to a room, and because I'm gay and I have a hug with my gay partner, then your child's automatically gonna look at that and say, "Oh, I need to do that too." Dickheads.
Yeah, it's a stupid thought, like.
But there are, I think, mainly because like the ideology of being gay is very appealing to some straight people because it comes with like them thinking about how open we are, how free we are to express ourselves. So in that sense, I can understand why they would want to aspire towards it and see it somewhat as a fashion trend in that sense. But I don't know about jumping into it, breaking hearts, because loads of people do that. They go a bit too deep, and it's like, oh, well, you need to back off a little bit.
That's not a gay thing. Like being promiscuous, breaking hearts, and all that sort of stuff.
No. I think that's where they've gone too far, because they jump in and do all of that stuff.
Because they assume that that's what we're like. But the only reason that they assume that gay people are promiscuous is because we didn't have this for a long time. So, you know, there was nothing sort of stipulating that we needed to be monogamous and you know, keep this front for the children and all this nonsense, when actually if you look at most couples, there's a lot of skeletons in their closets. You know?
But the thing is, well, I think when you kind of look back at the society's acceptance of homosexuality, because it wasn't something that you could do in the open, there were people with families formed who were then running and having a secret rendezvous with their partner and whatever else. So, like, it was that kind of promiscuous, like, oh my God, he's gay. So, because it's the hiding thing, do you see what I mean? So, I'm like, if the lifestyle that they're talking about is attached to that kind of hidden, closeted, running around behind closed doors doing, then I think that's where
But I get so confused because straight guys are extremely known for being promiscuous, but yeah, gay guys is just like, if they're promiscuous, then that's the bad thing.
But I feel like it's something to do with the way that, you know, I think it's a gender issue actually. I think because women are told if they have sex with a certain number of people, that's a problem.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, I think the negative connotations behind gay people in general being promiscuous kind of falls into the same category as women in general being promiscuous from a heterosexual man's perspective. Do you know what I'm saying?
But when you have two men and you remove the female element, you don't have that guilt that's associated, I think, with being a female.
So how do you feel in which the gay lifestyle is promoted in the media? Do you feel like that is good for us or bad for us? You've got people like Katy Perry, I Kissed a Girl, straight woman. You have Frank Ocean coming out as bisexual through a letter, and in a little song you've got like Young Jock wearing his dress and stuff like that. How do you think that is helping us or what?
I don't know. I think the media cherry pick whatever they want that seems exotic and fashionable, and it's a form of appropriation basically. It's sort of saying it's okay if you're heterosexual to stick on bits, but if you actually hit, then whoa, you're fucked. Excuse my language, but do you know what I mean? Like, I this is something I just get so riled up about when black girls are told that they can't wear their hair away because it's unprofessional, and then someone wears it and suddenly it's cute and fun, and you know, this nonsense just keeps happening time and time again, and it's not new. You know, it's not new. Like, you know, if you go back to Madonna's early career, Cyndi Lauper, some of those artists were not necessarily bisexual, but they were utilising it to.
Back in
I mean, I understand.
the 80s, they were very. It was the fashion alone in the 80s. You had people like Prince in heels, and you had that was the fashion. So it was a lot more open, like expressively in that way.
Because you have sort of coming out the 60s.
No, but I do think it's helped slightly. Just going on what you said, because I remember like I used to wear skinny jeans like back when it was not okay to be walking around in skinny jeans, and like I used to get stared at, but now it's cool. So it has helped in that sense. I think there's like it's opened loads of people's minds to just accepting it as just or whatever kind of thing. I don't really care. So that much has helped. That's just going.
We're continually used as sort of the people to move the goalpost and set the benchmarks.
Because
we get the most abrasiveness for it. Well, it's very true. And then suddenly everybody's wearing it and it's normal, and you just think.
But as trendsetters, you kind of have to get used to that. Like it goes with it. As a trendsetter, you do something and other people hop on the bandwagon. You can't like then get vexed because they're doing it and be like, oh, you shouldn't. You just should like that I'm doing it. We have to like be like, all right then, cool, innit? Let's move on to the next one.
I'm on both sides. I've got part of me is like the Frank Ocean coming out. I think that was great. I think someone who's out there,
Sorry, it's only because I know I'm just on it. But there was this one guy that I worked with at the time, and when he found out, he was like, "Oh nah, I've lost respect for him now. I've lost respect for him." And like, but I was like, "Wait a second, are we friends?" Like, what's going on there? But he's like, no, because I saw him as this guy that's just getting the girls, and now I don't know, man. I don't know.
I guarantee when he's at home with his gal, and that and the Frank Ocean tune comes in on that playlist, he ain't gonna get up and change the song. He's gonna listen to the song same way because his girl's gonna be loving it. So he can be.
Yeah, but how is he really gonna be listening to that next album though?
Because he'll hear it.
Yeah, I know, but is he going to be looking at and wanting to listen to it in the same light?
I don't even feel like that's the relevant point. I think it's the fact that he was able to articulate the fact that he doesn't respect the dude anymore just because he's bisexual. Like, but you had a good time with his music.
Yeah.
You knew, bruv. Do you know what I mean? You was getting down to tunes that he was probably writing about Jack down the road. So how are you now like, oh no, I can't. That's the bit. It's the articulation of the foolishness that I'm like. You're
but then they would like songs of murderers,
right? Okay.
And that's the thing. It's the distaste for anything gay or anything that's sort of feminine is so strong in the heterosexual world that any whiff of it, they have to express their distaste and their discomfort.
I saw a post on Facebook a couple of days ago, right? And it was like, the LGBT community have to add a new letter because we've got this new gender.
Another one.
Yeah, it was the
thing that you told me about.
The alien one. It was a non-gender,
a genderless alien.
A genderless alien.
What?
And they've thrown it over to us because it's part of our lifestyle. It
because of the genderless thing.
Clearly said, oh, it's back into it. An alien, bruv.
But here's
an alien.
But wait a second.
Walking down the road, bruv, as normal.
No, but what do they mean by alien?
No, alien. He's done the eyes, he's moved ribs, he's moved bones.
Oh, you mean like he's actually trying to look like an alien?
Yeah. And so they throw that over to us. To put into our lifestyle and into our.
But there's a couple of reasons why that happened though. Number one, genderless, we deal with gender. Number two, he is transitioning to an alien.
Into an alien.
I'm not obviously making the connect between the two, but I'm saying the hetero.
Into an alien.
He's transgender. No, but he's transgender. He's transgender.
He's saying he's transgender. He wants to have his genitals removed, and so far everyone's refused it.
But I personally think the alien thing is a bit silly because you can't really be an alien. Yeah, like
according to heterosexual people,
like
he's one of us, so you can be an alien.
Sounds like
that's what I was about to say. Like, playing devil's advocate now, right? Why can't you be an alien?
Because it's not. There's no. What?
I think if you want to be an alien, when you grow up, be an alien.
But I don't know.
We need to keep.
It doesn't need to be the categories. It don't.
To what is a
I think you can't be an
very
alien.
inclusive term. Like. Yeah, we've got the plus now, and I think that's enough. Yeah, the plus.
everything else.
extra you want to be.
But they're still going to be there.
What do you mean?
The alien will still be a part of that plus.
Yeah, because any.
I don't think any of this helps though. You see, I don't think any of this helps the LGBT community at all, because I think it gives reasons for people to mock it even more. I think there's loads of different things that make the LGBT community mockable, but like. I just feel
it's back to that queer word, odd and strange, throwing everything that ain't normal to you in for us, and it just miscellaneous. Anything else?
Why can't we accept that though? Like accept the
Why can't you take the freaking aliens?
Hear me out now.
No, but if the alien was straight, then he would be.
Hear me out now.
That's why he's ours.
That's why he's ours, because he's
can't take that.
Us as gay people, right? Yeah, we have enough people saying, right? Yeah, we can't be this, we can't be that, we can't be a part of this.
I'm trying to be me as a human. I'm a human being. Take me for me. I'm a human.
That's fine. But when we have said,
are you so just a human?
Why are we then?
When you look at
is that all that makes you?
From who we are, from who they want to be. When we're trying to be who we are, as people, as gay people, or whatever you want to classify yourself as, why are we now going to say, okay, well, you're different, so you can't be a part of our community?
Before I classify myself as a lesbian or a gay woman, before I classify myself as that I'm a woman, I'm a person, and I expect to be treated accordingly. And I don't see why, because it's not your normal, why it should be my normal.
Yeah, but we've had discussions where we're not part of the heterosexual normity of life or whatever, and we're upset that we can't be a part of that, or we're being segregated from that. So why are we doing it to other people?
Yeah, because he's gonna have to run around trying to find other little aliens.
It has to go to them. Why can't it just be and done?
No, because it's a genderless.
Yeah, so genderless, because he's genderless.
Then you lot sit there. You lot go sit there. Tell me how many aliens you lot meet.
Dude, it's not even about the alien. Let go of the alien. Do you know what I mean?
I don't agree with the alien because it's fictional. Which is why, it's no point you trying to say, "Oh, I'm transitioning to a mermaid too." Yeah. You can't do that stuff. That's why I'm not for it.
They'd be of us too.
If it's genderless, then okay, but they're not. Yeah, they're straight. Take them.
I just feel that because there's so many negative things associated with us as gay people, I just think we should be a bit more open and a bit more accepting of people who are also different, regardless of how different it is.
This is the problem. The problem is it's always going to be what is in the heterosexual norm and what is not, and that's why we have to take it out. So you definitely don't want the aliens under the umbrella.
It's not even about the aliens under the umbrella. It's simple as, why is everything that's just so bizarre to everybody else, does it have to get thrown in a category with people that are just trying to live normal lives as well?
So
because we're gay or lesbian.
This is pushing it a bit further, because there was a big furore about paedophiles, and there was pressure to differentiate between paedophiles that had heterosexual preference and paedophiles that were homosexual. What do you think about that? Like,
Paedophile, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't want them.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a big element of sense behind that.
Well, see, that was my sort of thinking of it. Is like it doesn't even fall into a sexual choice, because one party can't choose.
Alright guys, let's go back. How do you guys? So no, even the same when I was asking you lot about in the media and like how there's all those things. Do you think it's actually helping us? Like even if the alien and the mermaids were included, like is that helping us?
Not if it's going to make a mockery of us. Not if these things are adding to making us be a bit of a laughing stock.
I don't think ultimately, like if you look at media, if you look at we look at representation and things like that, there isn't a lot of gay storylines or trans storylines or storylines that really depict us in a positive light. I think it's always stuff that's happening kind of in a small group of people, or and I don't think the representation is positive. I don't think it shows.
But I think that representation that they're saying is the lifestyle that they keep on calling us on. Yeah. That they're saying that, oh yeah, that's our lifestyle. It's the same stuff that we see on the TV that they have in those gay roles.
Of your skinny jeans and how when you first wore them, they were repugnant to heterosexuals and now heterosexuals are wearing. So if we embrace the weird and the things that we ourselves are a little bit sort of unsure about.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Do we not think that eventually it's going to be the case of you can do what you want, you can love who you want, and you can identify how you want,
regardless of whether later on down the line whether it is accepted. I just think us as a minority, I just think we need to be a bit more accepting in regards to most things across the board, bar the odd few.
Because the thing that's most interesting to me, I find it really hard to answer this question because it's talking about a lifestyle that I don't believe exists, because you mentioned how that the stereotype is that we don't value family and stuff, and it's like, well, hang on, have you watched Paris is Burning? I mean,
that is a big family culture.
We are the most loyal family, but we have to create our own family.
But yeah, exactly.
Biologically, unless we go down certain routes, we're not able to. Within
what I was going to say with regards to Paris is Burning, like it shows the family element in that we support one another and whatever, but it's also got half naked men doing feminine dance moves and throwing themselves on the floor. Now, as a heterosexual person, sorry, that's
it's true though.
As a heterosexual person watching that, it's like, oh my god, the gay lifestyle. I didn't hear shit about family. I saw you lot running around with olive oil on the floor. That's what I saw.
It also shows you black and Latino people coming together with nothing, and creating a safety net and a family environment. But it also shows you the sort of state of where we were and where we are to some extent, because they weren't just throwing themselves around, they were dressing up as military.
But I think only a cultural person is going to understand that.
But they do make the point in that documentary that says we don't have the opportunity to be these things, but look, we can be like you are, but we're just not. Whether it's a choice or whether it's just something innate in us, we can pretend to be the way you need us to be. But we
do you think some straight people aspire to that?
To
like that? No. To have that. Like that. What you just said.
I think. As with anything, fashionable, you always have to keep pushing and finding new things, and this is the thing that's currently being explored. You have artists like Kid Cudi, and you have Jaden Smith now wearing skirts, lying in a certain way.
What's that other one? The one that had his mixtape was called I Am Gay or something. What is his name? I can't remember. One rapper. Yeah, he's not.
I'm just.
He's not gay. But no, it was called I Am Gay. That's a cheek.
That was his.
And he had like Diplo. He got the bounce rappers in on some of the beats and stuff. But like,
I don't know. It doesn't help though. That's the thing. It doesn't help. It doesn't.
It kind of doesn't. It kind of doesn't. Because it's like, who does it help?
No, because if we're talking about it helping in the sense of it giving a positive light on us, and I think that involves actually showing us as people, not somebody who's straight and is appropriating. Do you get what I mean? I think there's not enough of that. So we're talking about a lifestyle that actually we're not even being able to show in its authenticity. You know what I'm saying? So if I turn on the TV or if I watch a music video, like I want to be able to see, if we're talking about some gay shit or whatever, like I want to be able to see those real people. Like I don't want to. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
See someone parodying.
Yeah. Because I think parody it ruins, and I think it spoils like the authenticity or the normality of just dating people, just fucking them.
But even the term you just used, like I want to go and watch some gay shit, like that shit is what they think is like
it's a lifestyle.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if it's just we're interested in stuff, so there's certain people that are interested in voguing. The fact that they happened, or the majority of them happen to be gay, is just but they're interested in voguing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not interested in voguing, so that gay shit I don't want to see. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. So I think like when we're doing stuff that the outside sees as incredibly flamboyant or fruity or flowery or whatever, then that's the shit
that's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But lifestyle to me just makes it sound like, I don't know, I've changed my diet, I'm going to the gym or something. That's what it makes it seem like. Something I've just decided and I'm just going to do this. That's it, it's decided. It sounds decided as opposed to just...
I just think that I think we're more free in a lot of different ways, because we don't necessarily... we go through that whole transition. And we have to distance ourselves from it because we don't fit. And so when we form our own communities, we make our own rules, and we don't necessarily need to restrain ourselves in the same way. And don't get me wrong, that's another discussion. We do restrain ourselves, we do put things on ourselves internally, but in terms of developing our own culture, we were free to do it the way we wanted to because we were shunned and we were pushed aside, and so we did it almost in secret. We did it amongst ourselves. So, but my argument is whether or not the method we get there is good for us or good for heterosexuals, getting there, is that not a good thing? Like with the skinny jeans reference, or
that was, but with the guy with like the
hairstyles or whatever, like in the whole thing.
I think it just makes it okay for straight people to do. Like it just means that it's okay for a straight person to do it, but it still doesn't make it any easier for anyone else because
you're doing it and you're still gay.
Yeah.
You're doing it and you're dressing masculine and you're still a lesbian.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not just putting on.
It's now a lifestyle as opposed to a fashion choice.
Yeah, but then the first dude in this friendship group that put on those skinny jeans that you was wearing all the time, bruv, I bet you good money his brother's like, some gay shit, bruv. Why are you coming out like that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until everyone else got. Am I lying?
No, they were saying it was all gay.
And everyone was wearing the same.
And then when they liked the song, I think it was like The Jerk. I think that one.
Yeah.
Teach Me How to Jerk. I think when that started to come out, because you needed to have skinny jeans to do the dance move.
Yeah, you couldn't see your legs.
So it just made it okay. Yeah, it was purpose now. Yeah. When really and truly, he just went to a gay club and actually liked it and was like,
I don't know. I don't know. See the whole skinny jeans thing. You don't call it skinny jeans when in my time it was called stretch jeans. I just think over time fashions come back in, and because like I said in the 80s, men wore women's clothes as a standard, high heels. They weren't looked.
I don't know if men wore women's clothes or you're talking about TV. Like you're talking about Prince.
No,
I don't think men wore women's clothes. Let's keep it real. They didn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. You're talking about the dancers that you see with their thing around their ankles.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. That wasn't like the man walking down the street. Most you maybe would have seen someone with like a crop top. Most. That's only because Will Smith done it in the 90s. Yeah. But I don't think they were wearing. We're going a bit too far there.
No, there was a fashion trend. Clearly, whoever picked
which fashion trend? It was not a fashion trend.
Where that's where men started wearing makeup. Men.
Yeah, the whole androgynous thing.
No, but that was.
There was loads of people.
The Velvet Underground and all of that. Yeah, that did happen, but I don't know if.
But they weren't wearing women's clothes. They were wearing makeup.
Into mainstream, I don't think
it didn't filter into mainstream at all. People walking down the street were not wearing women's clothes. They weren't going to their local shop and going into the women's department.
I just said it's a fashion trend. I just think things over time things come back in again and it's acceptable again.
I don't know if it's that what made it acceptable. I think just music made it acceptable personally, but fashion does repeat itself and it does come back. But skinny jeans with men wasn't. I mean, the closest that I was seeing, I'm thinking like Eddie Murphy with the tight leather, but that still isn't necessarily women's wear, and it was for on show. It was for on the stage. It was for performance. It wasn't people on the everyday walking down the street. Whereas skinny jeans now is something that men do walking down the street. They was wearing Adidas back in then. They was wearing the boot cut. They was wearing all different kind of stuff.
Shoulder pads.
Yeah.
I know people still wear shoulder pads, trust me.
But it just confuses me how men, how it just took so long for men to just wear something like skinny jeans, but then, but women didn't understand it when they had such a struggle in general having to wear jeans in the first place. Always confuses me.
But I don't know. I think the understanding of fashion and where it comes from and who like puts it in place for whichever gender is like I said, the whole next thing. And when we influence, because gay people influence the fashion industry, do you know what I mean? So they're always going to be following us to an extent. We are the people that set the trends in the industry, do you know what I mean? So on a street level, it's going to happen in the same kind of way, I guess. Yeah, so I think with like us being the heads of industries such as fashion and music and things like that, that our kind of life seeps into modern everybody society. Do you see what I mean? So we're gonna have some sort of influence via osmosis, which is hence the copycat thing. But in terms of setting up as a standard that the scene should be judged by, or the gay people should be judged by in a lifestyle, I'm not sure. I feel like we're all kind of individually responsible for the influence that we have on the people that we interact with, because I really don't know if we can rely on the media and
but if you could control the media, what would you want it to do, show, say?
I think it would show people doing everyday things. You see what I mean? Because unless you are the type of gay person that runs around going to nightclubs and taking poppers, like
you can find just as many straight people doing that. It's
there you
like,
go.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like literally, I'd like for everybody else, the normal people, to see that we, in our lifestyle, we have children, we have families, we go to work. You know, we have our ups and downs. We get depressed just like everybody else. We go through relationship problems. It's not because we're gay, but we have relationship problems. We might have a few more because of outside influences because we're gay, but we go through our issues.
At the same time of the month.
Right. You know, just a little time. It could be just as bad. You've got a house of women. You live at home with your mum and your sisters. Everybody seats up. It's our madness. So these things are bound to happen. But I think we need to see these things more often.
Yeah, I want something to humanize us. To get away from these like just get away from all of it and just like see a storyline, a narrative about someone that's just aspiring to do something and they make it. like come on, like just like everybody else, because it doesn't even need to be the forefront of the story. Their sexuality don't need to be the forefront of the story. It can be mentioned, but like you can take so many films, things happen in the film, they go from one thing to another, they progresses, but we know that they're straight in the film, but it's not the storyline. It's not it's about them being straight. So why does it have to be about?
Most Hollywood films are about love, though. That's the problem. I would love to see a film or anything that's in the mainstream just have gay characters or have characters of
but they have it about love,
but just not be about it. Like
not
you know what I mean?
But loads of their ones have like gay undertones. So straight undertones. So like let's say for instance Bad Boys, it's about just a relationship between two friends and they're going on and they're fighting crime and they do it and it works out. We know they're straight in there because one of them's married, the other one's like a bit promiscuous with it, but it's not the main part of the story. But that doesn't happen with anything gay in the slightest.
I agree. Yeah.
I would love that. I would literally love that if we could move to a point where a character or something is represented, they're gay, and it's just not the issue. That's not what the piece is about. It's the same way that gay people are put into stuff to showcase the very fact that they are gay. That's what we're used for in media. And I would love for it to just not become boring, but just to be considered just another thing.
It's not a plot. It's not a plot.
Me being a lesbian is just who I sleep with. That's got nothing to do with the rest of me. It's got nothing to do with what my core values and my beliefs and how I want to raise my child and what I want to do with my career. It's got nothing to do with those things.
It doesn't determine my personality.
No.
I don't know. There's going to have to be, and it always will be, stuff that focuses on what the troubles and the obstacles that being what we are. What we endure certain things that are interesting and do need to be explored, but then we do live normal lives. It's just that the several or so things we do that heterosexuals don't, they see that as the big red flag. They're like, oh look, that's what they like. And it's like, well, hang on, we have families, we go out, we work, we do all the same stuff, we have conversations, we have boring people, we have interesting people, we have all kinds of it's a very rich community, and it's just we're actually part of your community. It's just you're not willing to accept that yet.
I think for as long as you've got shows like, I don't know, Neighbours and like Home and Away, and I think as long as you've got shows like that still have gay storylines, but they don't show the normality behind it, or they show, you know, it's gone through some kind of trauma for them to get there, or you know, they end up together and then something happens, some kind of tragedy, and then they're not together. Like, you cannot count you know, those kind of storylines in these mainstream shows, and that they've prospered, they've got kids, or they've gotten married. Like,
they always show them being bashed or something.
Some dramatic,
every drama centres around that very thing.
Exactly.
It's like everything will trudge along, and then they'll get beaten up.
It's always some kind of.
They'll fall in love with someone, and
they'll get HIV.
Sleep with someone straight, and then I thought, well, okay, well then you make a mockery of what we do, who we are, you know, because you're saying, well, it's based off the fact of something that I have or haven't done with somebody who's straight. So, you know, maybe I haven't had an experience with a guy, so that's the reason why I'm a lesbian. Or, you know, I have to test the fact that I'm a lesbian, so I'm going to sleep with a guy. That's what they do a lot in these. They do that a lot in films and in shows a lot. So if that narrative is changed, then that shows more of our normality, and shows, you know, that's more of a representation.
Well, do you celebrate gay culture being commandeered by heterosexuals? Is there parts of that you see as empowering, or you think, yeah, go on, I like that?
No, I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more open, in the sense, gay actors, and because you find that they have to be in something for a long time before they say, oh yeah, oh, and by the way, I am. And I just think.
But then by hiding it, do we potentially other ourselves? Do you know what I mean? By not saying in the beginning, I don't feel like we should have to disclose anything from the jump. But at the same time, by not saying it and having that big reveal, like, hey guys, headline, you thought I was sleeping with these people all the time. But, you know what I mean? Like, if we're just, you get me?
What do you do to Kevin Spacey?
What's the Kevin Spacey thing?
Well, everyone, the whole industry knows he's gay. Basically, everybody knows he's gay.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything. I just
like Queen Latifah.
It's not worth talking about.
No, she's out though, isn't it?
No, she's never admitted it.
But no, she walks with her girlfriend and all around her.
She said, I am. And this
but then I think more power to it. Exactly.
You know why?
It's none of your damn business.
It's not even that. You know why I like it?
If you want us to be portrayed as like or the normal side of being gay in media,
then let's stop.
But what you're showing, but what you're actually showing is that, oh, I have to be normal, and then I'll tell you later.
No, but she's not saying that at all.
Why say it at all?
There are people out there.
Hi guys, I'm a lesbian. Like,
yeah, but check it. There are people out there that would feel more comfortable with themselves if they knew there were others.
Nah, there are other role models out there, because there are other role models out there doesn't mean I need to.
Sometimes people need to see. I just think if we were more visual,
I agree with
then there'll be other people that would be saying more acceptance.
I agree with visibility, but I'm saying it's not everybody's place to be like, they don't feel comfortable being in that spot, bro. So you know what I mean? If she doesn't want to, then cool, don't.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying about counting.
By the same token, she allows people who perhaps aren't yet comfortable letting everyone know what they are. They can identify with it because you can see it. You know what she is. Like,
and everyone knows.
Or you could but she's in the public eye and she still doesn't feel comfortable enough to say.
No, but how do you know it's about her being comfortable? That's your assumption. That's your assumption. You don't know that she doesn't feel comfortable.
But that's the impression that these people.
No, because that's not the impression that I get. Because I thought she was, because I see her with pictures with a woman that I thought that she'd been going out with, and I thought everyone knew that. Like, that's just where it was. And she, just like Will Smith, has never said that he's straight. He doesn't need to. She don't need to.
Exactly.
You just see who they're with.
I'm looking at people, and these people.
Do you know what I mean?
Look, you've got some people that will go out there and rap. You could be gay, but you're rapping about being with a man. Yeah, Queen Latifah, for instance, she's some lyrics and things that you say is about this. That. No, but what I'm saying is, the point I'm making is, it would be nice to see somebody do it and say, this is who I am, so that'd be open with it, because if more people were open, there wouldn't be so much hush, hush, hush.
I feel you,
and
but then that also,
that's where I think Queen Latifah's coming from. I feel like she feels like it's going to affect her her career, like, you know, the stuff that she's done and where she wants to go. I think that she's being hush about it. But I absolutely see both sides of the argument. Like, I absolutely see. I don't think that anyone should have to carry that cross and be like, I'm going to be the spokesperson, you know. But at the same time, we yearning for the representation. Yeah. All I can think of at the top of my head, if I think about a black gay person in the media, Wanda Sykes.
Yeah. Same.
But I know there's a
Gina Yashere.
Yeah. Even her, she took ages.
But this is the thing, though. You can't expect people to be like, you know, I'm gay and just come out and say it. Like, they have to.
Because it's their life. Do you know what I mean? It's their life.
It's their life.
And this is what I'm saying. But what I don't want is other people coming up, looking at it and thinking, oh, so do I have to wait until I get to a certain point and I'm accepted by people before I come out and say, this is who I am? And that's the point I'm making.
You know, the funny thing is, this right here is the gay lifestyle. Debating whether or not we need to tell people who we fuck at night time. That is the gay lifestyle. Other than that, bruv, there's nothing to it. It's foolishness. It's all foolishness.
I think the representation will help until we get there, though. Yeah. Because I think until people know that it's actually okay to be who they are and be comfortable
and not hide it,
and to see other people out there and be like, oh, bro, like, I bet you the amount of people that Ellen has helped just by her visibility. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of people of color, black people, we don't have that same association. So I think until we get there, I think that there has to be a bit more of freedom and be kind of like, I am, and just, you know, and just see what I want, like. But yeah, I see both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we brought up Queen Latifah because it got brought up, but I'm just saying anybody that has that platform that could help, it would be nice to see more people being open with us. Like I said about Frank Ocean coming out, I just felt that, you know what, there's R&B singers who are gay or bi.
It's funny because it's media and entertainment. It's the proportion of gay people in those industries is phenomenal.
Anyway,
but see, that it's okay that it will be a straight person talking about that stuff than it is somebody who is dealing with their sexuality or somebody who is bi and saying like, I'm bi, like Frank Ocean. Like, it was a big thing, right? People stopped listening to his music or whatever, and I've lost respect for him and all that kind of nonsense.
But also, like, music has a lot of sexuality in it. Like,
it's very
I feel
sexual.
like it's been slowed or stemmed because it would be quite difficult to start releasing those tracks, and then everyone's going, well, they're talking about same sex. I think there would be a backlash if it was. I think it's a journey that has to happen. But
because there are, I think we need to really pay homage to loads of artists who are doing it now. There are loads of artists that are doing it now, but it's just not going anywhere. And that's not their fault. Like, we're saying, oh, people need to do this, they need to do it. There are people doing it, but it's not working. So what are you meant to do then?
I have to keep persevering. Keep going.
What about like the young MAs of the world, like, you know, somebody who's come out and who's you know that she's a lesbian. I have a problem with her lyrics in terms of like, I feel like she's just chatting the same kind of hetero nonsense, misogynist nonsense.
But then the internet.
The internet.
She's pretty forward with it.
Yeah. So there are people out there.
But then again, I think it will be a lot easier for a girl than it would be for a guy.
Perhaps. Yes.
Especially in the black community, but especially
a few more Frank Oceans out there, and it won't be so odd.
There are a few artists, like British artists, that I can think of. I'm not even going to try if I'm outing them or nothing. So I can think of a couple, but again, it's not at the forefront, and I think that's where we need to go. It's not like, oh, this is a gay artist, or, you know, I think that's
just be an artist.
Just be an artist, but you don't need to hide it.
You don't need to hide it. Yeah, Queen Latifah's hiding.
She's hiding.
I don't think she's hiding.
I honestly think
but it's not just Queen.
It's not.
She's
there's some people on that level. There's some people on that level that have sent their finders after me at a concert. Like, there are people up on that level, and they are hiding their sexuality because they are presenting a heterosexual life.
Yeah, that's why I don't think she's not hiding. That's why I think she's not hiding. I think the ones that are hiding, we just don't know about.
The ones the people that are projecting that heterosexual life, to me, it's just like, then the message you're sending is that there's something wrong with being you.
But they must not feel good within their self.
And we need more people that do feel good. The more people we can.
Yeah, but then we need to probably approach it with less.
People that grew up in that grew big in the time where sexuality was a big issue. You just couldn't. You couldn't be in the music industry and be prominent and sell records or be in films unless you were heterosexual. like the kind of music that Queen Latifah was making and some of the other artists are making, that there would have been a disjunct. People were like, well, we can't dance to that because you're not singing about the same sort of thing we want to dance to.
Times have changed now.
Times have changed, but that's what they use to become who they are.
They're entitled to they're right, bro.
Yes, they're entitled.
They're right. You want to run around and tell everybody. You run around and tell everybody.
Do you know what? I'm just saying again, for someone who has a child, right, and someone that, when my child looks at things, I would like to, for her to reference and say, okay, that person's like my mum. Okay, that just something that my mum's just not so odd. That my mum's the only one. Do you know what I'm saying?
But then again, it's about us relying on the media and that. Like,
I can introduce her myself. I'm talking about when she's out and about and she's looking or she's listening to things by herself. When I'm not there, what can she see that she can relate to?
But then there will be loads of things that she can relate to because you then need to show her that you're not just lesbian.
I understand that.
So then she can relate to loads of other things.
Where can she see the normality of what that we have at home? Where can she see that?
Yeah.
Anywhere else? For her to switch on a TV program, for her to see something that's a little bit normal. She sees everybody else's households, but where does she see hers?
I agree with that.
Where does she see people? Where does she see?
I do agree with that.
I hear you. I just don't think it's everyone else's responsibility.
I think it's everyone else's responsibility to come out, bro.
I think it's a hard one.
Well, somebody needs to take a step.
Representation is skewed 100% across every media platform. Like, the films just come out about the war, and it's like, well, some ridiculous amount of Indian people fought in the war. But they're not. They won't be in every second shot. No, I can almost guarantee you that. But so representation is in the hands of a very select few. So for me, I would like to see that dissolved. I'd like to see that opened up. I'd like to be able to see a program and not know what I'm going to see, what I'm going to expect. When you see a character presented in a certain way, you instantly know, unless they are the white characters, the white heterosexual characters, you instantly know what their journey is going to be throughout that film. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to be able to see entertainment media showcasing the unexpected for us and allowing us to see ourselves represented in a more truthful manner.